Hey guys, Mackay here, back with Ironside Ranch. If you hear a bunch of engines running off in the background, we just had a racetrack put in about 1.5 miles as a crow flies from our house. So beauty is of us living way out here in the middle of nowhere is I can do whatever the hell I want with my land. Downside is so can he. So the gunshots are normal. That's Alabama, but the racetrack. If you guys hear that, I apologize. I was hoping this would cut it out, so hopefully it doesn't pick up too much of it. I want to talk about this video that Magic Prepper did. If y'all haven't checked out his channel, please jump over there. He's a real nice guy. I've emailed him and talked to him once or twice before, and he's always been very, very cordial and nice. I'd love to do a live chat with him and do a joint video. So if anybody knows him, hit him up with that. But anyways, so he does this this video here recently on the Omnicore variants for COVID, and he's talking about how I'll post a link to the video down in the description, but basically he's talking about how Israel predicted this because they ran this test scenario and it happened to line up exactly with what happened with the Omnicore. So they were like, this is a little bit too coincidental, right? Too much conspiracy theory here. And so he didn't come out and say that it was this massive conspiracy theory. He just kind of put the question out there. And when I saw this, I wanted to give an answer on it. So I was supposed to be doing a video on the coffee bean shortage, but Economic Ninja beat me to the video, so we're gonna let that one go. I didn't really have anything to add on top of his video, so we'll move past that. I should have posted it the day that I was talking to y'all about it last time, because I would have been able to post that a day before his video, but whatever, we're gonna let that one go. Love Economic Ninja, by the way. If y'all haven't checked out his channel, go over there. Also Magic Prepper, both very good channels. Magic Prepper did this video, and it's very clear that he was either never in the military or never in the military. I shouldn't say very clear, probably never in the military on a capacity where he actually planned these war games and did these operations. Let me explain. Most people that are junior enlisted are never going to be really in-depth involved in these war games. If you're senior enlisted, so somebody like an E6 or above, even though I guess senior starts at E7, but if you're an E6 or above, you're going to get involved with this. If you're E5 or above, you'll get involved with it on the MI side. If you're an O1, you're always going to be involved with it because they're going to expect you to be involved with it for the rest of your career. So I was an infantry officer. So I dealt with a lot of these different war games. We did a ton of them, and we planned a ton of them. And wow, that sun is really bright. Here, let me move this. Maybe that'll help. Sorry, that's my horrible cattle trailer. Y'all can see our $900 cattle trailer. So he does this video, and like I said, it's pretty clear that he probably was never in the military in this capacity to do this. But what happens is when you're in the military is you plan these missions based on the most likely course of action and the most dangerous course of action. So those are your two criteria. The way you determine those is the most likely course of action for something like COVID would be, hey, we think that COVID is going to have a reoccurring virus every year. We're going to need booster vaccines. That virus will probably mutate some to be tougher, maybe have a slightly different mortality rate, a slightly higher transmission rate, something along those lines. The most dangerous course of action is not that COVID is 100% fatal and transmits, to everybody that comes in contact with it. That's not a realistic scenario. I guess in theory it could happen, but not super likely, right? So the most likely of the most dangerous courses of action would be that COVID gets a 20% mortality rate and it transmits with what's the R factor score, like an R factor of 6 or something like that, where it transmits to every person that gets infected, infects 6 more people, and 20% of those people die, 20-30%, let's say. That would be a really, really high death rate, right? So when COVID first came out, we were getting numbers that it may have a 10% death rate. That's when everybody was wearing masks back at the beginning, and then we had it become a little bit more political after that. But anyway, so that would be the most likely and the most dangerous course of action, kind of how you plan those ideas. The most dangerous course of action, like I said, is becomes very transmissible, very deadly, and we get a nuclear attack at the same time. That's not super likely. So when they plan these war games, if you're a division and you do this war games and you do CBRN, so chemical, biological, radioactive, and nuclear, you're going to plan these war games based off of these scenarios, and you're going to run through 20 different scenarios in one war game alone. And then each time you reset, you're going to add in a change and make different changes. See how your guys respond. See what the best option is, and especially when you're doing joint training with like Joint Task Force North, where you've got like Border Patrol and Homeland Security in there, and then you're running the CDC with them as well, and you've even got lawyers on those training scenarios, because the lawyers are telling you, hey, you can't do this because it makes the federal police state and it's against the Constitution, so you're not allowed to do that. That one's going to be challenged in court and you'll be blocked off, and there'll be an injunction right away. So you have to do it this way, and let the Border Patrol guys do this because they've already been vetted for that process or whatever it is. We did one with them where we worked with Border Patrol down in Nogales in Arizona, and when we did that, we couldn't make arrests on illegal immigrants coming over. Only the Border Patrol guys could, because the Border Patrol guys their hands weren't tied with that. We only were allowed to be there for observing and surveillance and force. We had ammunition on us, but it was only for force protection in case we had an issue with the cartels over there around the border. So kind of same sort of thing there. So anyways, that's kind of along the short of it. So I didn't really want to jump on here and do a video correcting him, but I thought the information he was putting out was pretty incorrect for somebody. If you understand how these things work and how the war games are planned out, none of this is actually that scary. That one of their war games happened to happen. Again, they probably went through 20 to 50 different scenarios with this when they were doing these war games, and one of them just happened to land, which is kind of a good thing. If their war games, if the scenarios are never landing, they're not doing a very good job planning their war games either. So that's something that we want to consider as well. So not something that we want to get panicked over. Just something that we can keep our eyes on. Not saying to ignore it completely, and not saying that he's 100% wrong. Just simply saying that it's probably not that big of a deal, and it's probably just a typical war game played at some division level, battalion level, and it just happened to meet the mark. That's actually much more likely than the opposite being true. That's just mass conspiracy. The thing to remember about conspiracies is think about keeping a secret. People cannot keep secrets, and even people with you have no idea how many times I've had somebody with a top secret security clearance say, hey, let me tell you this. I'm not supposed to say it to you, but I'm going to tell you this. It's like, dude, no, you're missing the point. Like, it doesn't matter whether that's a big secret to keep. Your job is to keep that secret, and so you've got to be careful about that stuff, and realize that people can't keep secrets. And let's go back to the JFK assassination, because it's not in current politics. Nobody cares about it anymore. We all know that there's something weird going on there, and nobody's really sure what. There's different theories on it. I'm not going to get into that. But the bottom line is that the guys that actually knew what was going on there, they're probably dead. The secret's probably long and buried, and nobody's ever going to really know anymore. And because there was really only probably 5 guys that knew what was actually going on with that. It's just the reality of how a secret is kept. The CIA is not that good at keeping secrets. I've worked with a bunch of them. They're just not that good at keeping these secrets. Most people aren't. So the conspiracy theories are much harder to get in place than what that kind of prepper mindset seems to realize. So just be very careful about going down those rabbit holes. It can cause you to panic and get some fear porn about something that's not likely or never going to happen. Again, I'm not saying ignore it completely. I'm just saying to be careful about going down those rabbit holes. So guys, I know this is going to make some people mad, but go check out Magic Prepper's channel. It is a fun channel to watch. Besides the fact that I don't like the name of his channel, I can't stand it. It always makes me laugh, but I get why he does it. He was a Magic the Gathering player. If any of y'all ever played the cards, that's why he did it. Before I do that, it sounded kind of dumb. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. If you really like the game, that fits a lot better. I liked the game when I was a kid, so it makes total sense to me. But anyways, guys, go check out his channel. I'll link it down below. I'm actually going to tag him in this because I'm hoping that he and I can do a joint video together. It'd be a lot of fun, although his channel has blown up and got a lot bigger, so he's probably low on time. But anyways, guys, if you know him, tag him in it, and let's push him to do that, because that'd be a lot of fun to talk to him and get a conversation going with him. So Make sure and like, subscribe to the channel, guys, if y'all haven't already done so. I'm going to keep posting videos. We're not going to talk about the coffee shortage. I know we said we were, but Economic Ninja already did the coffee shortage, so we're going to let that one go. I should have posted it earlier, but I didn't. I am going to talk. It looks like we got some more chicken shortages coming, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in the next video.